bought the new Xbox Series S Black Edition, one of the most highly requested color options by the Xbox community. And in this video, we are going to unbox it, share my first impressions, discuss if it's worth it, and look at the major differences. So my brand new Xbox Series S has finally arrived. I pre-ordered this as soon as it was announced at the Summer Games Fest, the Xbox Showcase, a few months ago now. It was quite a bit of time. We actually live streamed it when we were watching the show. And I think this is the perfect console. It's giving me vibes of like the Xbox 360 Elite. Remember, you had the standard Xbox 360, then you had the 360 Elite that was black, that had the larger storage. This is exactly what we've got here with the new Series S. You've got the sort of black, more pro version with the larger storage, which is a huge selling point. Now, I think the Xbox Series S is one of the most underrated consoles you can buy at the moment. My white Xbox Series S, I used that thing so much during the console shortages when I couldn't get a PS5 or an Xbox Series X. And also considering its price point, you can pick those things up for like around 180 to 200 pounds at the moment. It's one of the best values in gaming by far, because you got to bear in mind, a lot of people out there go, oh, the Xbox Series S sucks, so who's gonna buy that? But most people don't even have a 4K TV anyways. They don't have a 4K telly. They're maybe not even playing at 1440p. So something like the Series S enables them to enter that next generation of gaming, get all of the benefits of the quick resume, the faster storage, so they're not sat there for ages loading in the Fortnite map, because we actually did some speed tests comparing the Xbox One X and the Xbox One to the Xbox Series S, and you were sometimes saving over 1 minute and 20 seconds loading into certain games. Now, you might say, oh, that doesn't matter. But if you're like a little bit older and you just want to play games casually, you may be really busy with school, you may be busy with work, you just want to boot the console up and jump in because you've only got 1 hour to play games. If you're going to be wasting like 2 minutes here and there loading in all of the maps every single time, it quickly adds up across the space of a year how much time you'd waste just sitting on a loading screen versus the productivity time you'd have actually actively playing the games. It's huge. Like, I think a lot of my younger viewers that are got all the time in the world didn't really appreciate that aspect of that video, how huge the time saving was. Because as you get a bit older as an adult, you just want to play as much as you possibly can in a restricted amount of time. So without any more messing about, let's just jump straight in and take a look at this. I always love the Xbox opening tabs. They make it so easy, like with these little arrows here, that you just sort of pull up, boom. Made a little bit of a mess of that, but looks all right. Now, this console comes at a good time as well. It launched on the same day that Starfield Early Access came out, so perfect marketing from Xbox there. Get yourself almost like a space black Xbox Series S to go with Starfield. Oh God, this thing looks mint. I just saw the top of it. Oh wow, that looks class. Oh, that looks so cool. Nice, it's so stealthy, look at that. I think the Series S looks better than the Series X, even just the white one. I know people say it looks like a speaker or even like a telephone, but I think it looks cool. I love how small these consoles are, whereas the other PS5 is hideous. It's just ugly, the PS5. It's so big, you can't fit it in your TV stand. You've got to stand it up on a shelf. It's just clunky. Where's the controller? You've been scammed, mate. Where's the controller at? Now, the controller's obviously just going to be a standard, basically Xbox gamepad, nothing special here that I'm expecting it to be. Yeah, there we go. It's just literally the same controller you get with the Xbox Series X. And then, of course, you get your power cables and also your HDMI cables. Now, this is just a HDMI 2.0 cable. It's not a 2.1 cable because you don't require it for the Xbox Series S. This just needs to be, this can do 120 hertz at 1440p. So that runs perfectly fine on a HDMI 2.0. But now let's see how it compares to the white edition of the Xbox Series S. So here we have my original Xbox Series S that I purchased way back in, I think it was 2021. This was actually the console that got me back into video games. The main reason why this channel exists is because of this console. Like, I sort of lost interest in Xbox consoles. I was playing on PC predominantly, but when the next gen came out, I got a little bit hyped, and this just sort of bridged that gap perfectly so I could play casually in the evenings. Now, I've modified this console quite a bit. Like, we've opened it up. If you take a look here, we've broken the seals, I've modified stuff inside, put RGB lights in it and all sorts of stuff. So it's good to have a brand new factory sealed console that feels a little bit purer. But also just looking at these side by side, I like both of them, but the black one just, it's trumping it because it just looks a little bit more aggressive. Now, obviously with the new Black Edition Xbox Series S, this costs around $50 more than the actual retail price of the old one. And for that extra $50, you are getting double the storage, basically. This comes with 1 terabyte NVMe SSD drive, so you're going to have way more games. This thing, I feel like, if I remember correctly, I only managed to get maybe 4 or 5 next-gen games onto this console if I was lucky. So that's going to obviously increase that significantly to around maybe 8 to 10 games on this console, because obviously you're going to use a little bit of storage space for the operating system and stuff like that. But I did just say that this costs $50 more than the white console. That's the recommended retail price. This is a $250 console. I think this is a $300 console. Technically, this is actually $100 more than the regular white version, because these go so cheap now. Like, you can pick them up for sometimes $180, $200, depending on what bundles and deals are on. So this is actually a little bit more expensive than just $50 when it actually comes down to what you can pick these up on the marketplace. But give this a couple months, it will probably drop down. And then also they'll do some bundles with a bunch of games. I'm assuming you'll probably get like the new Forza. There'll be a bundle probably with some Starfield games. Now, of course, since the original Series S release, there has been a bunch of new accessories, including this new WD Black storage card. This obviously is the expansion card that you can throw into the back of the console to go ahead and expand it further. So this now has 2 terabytes of storage with both of these included. Now, this WD Black drive in particular is actually probably my go-to option at the moment, because it is cheaper than the Seagate expansion card. I think it's around $40 cheaper if I remember correctly off the top of my head. And it's also faster. So I ran some tests on this expansion card against the original Seagate expansion card, and this one was around 2 seconds faster when it came to loading in particular games, which I was actually quite surprised by, because they're exactly the same technology. Now, of course, this isn't the only console that launched this week. The Black Xbox Series S came out on the exact same day as the first ever limited edition PlayStation 5. Sony were definitely trying to steal some attention here around the whole Starfield early launch and the new console. So we've got this SpiderMan console that came this week as well. Now, this thing has really impressed me. Now, at first, I was not hyped for this console at all. I saw the reveal trailer. I thought it looked crap. I honestly thought it looked pretty average. But when it showed up in person, it exceeded my expectations massively. So this is the new PS5 SpiderMan 2 Special Edition, the first limited edition console for the PS5 generation. Of course, they've done console plates and so on, but this is actually the first bundle that you can purchase for a game. Now, it comes included with a game code and all that type of stuff, but I think they've done a very nice job of the overall aesthetics and vibes of the console covers right here. So you've got the sort of Venom taking over the Spider-Man red, you've got the nice Spider-Man logo. This half of the console looks exceptional, but when you flip it to the other side, this is rather lackluster. This is obviously meant to be the Venom half of the game, and obviously like the console, so it's all black, just looks like a standard black console cover you can buy for like 50 quid with like a Spider-Man sticker on there. This side's a little bit rubbish, but it gets way better with the controller. Now, obviously this cool controller stand is not included with the console. I'll leave a link to this in the description. You just pick this up on Amazon. But the controller, man, this thing looks mint. So you've got the black, basically a midnight black PlayStation controller with a bit of paint on it. So you got the black half, which is Venom. The D-pad and everything's black again, so it's all on theme with that darker side. You got the cool Spider-Man logo on the touchpad. That looks amazing. And then on this side, you got that splash of obviously the Spider-Man red, sort of trying to escape, and then the white buttons. So it keeps on theme with what the PS4 Pro looked like, with the white buttons on that Spider-Man console. No logos on the back like you used to get on the PS4 controllers. You used to get a logo on the touchpad and one on the back, but the controller's very nice. Now, with this Spider-Man console, where it becomes a little bit irritating is if you're a collector, like you want to collect your consoles and stuff, people can just buy the plates separately. So they can literally just buy the plates on their own, buy the controller on their own, and make their regular white console look just like this one. So it means in the future, when people are trying to sell it on the used market and they've maybe got rid of the box or lost the box, you're not going to know which is a genuine PS5 Spider-Man 2 edition or which was just a guy that switched out his console covers and made it look like one. So I think that's going to cause a little bit of a problem down the line when it comes to the collectability of the PS5 generation. But overall, I think it's a pretty nice console, and I'm really happy and I'm super lucky to have managed to get my hands on one. Now, of course, this PS5 got released way in advance before the actual game comes out. Like, there was no need for Sony to drop this on the 1st of September. The game doesn't come out until October, but obviously they wanted to take a little bit of the star of the show away from this console and Starfield. So the Starfield early access started on Friday, the 1st of September, and then it releases in a couple days afterwards. So if you wanted to go all out with this new launch, you could also obviously pair your new console with some of these Starfield accessories. So this is the new Starfield controller. I think this controller looks absolutely fantastic. It's beautiful. So you've got this white aesthetic with all of these different texts on there, that almost like the text that you would be on your spaceship. Now, this also shows you what the controls are within the game. So the throttle is controlled like that, shown by these little arrows. You've got the scan modes, that type of thing. So it's quite cool that it coincides with the actual control scheme within the game. You then got these nice rubber pads on the back. Now, these rubber pads are slightly different to a standard pad. These are just plastic, but also they've added rubber on both sides, whereas previous controllers have just had like rubber on the inners, I believe it was. So you got the two tones here, all ties in really nicely. You got some nice Easter eggs on the covers here for the game itself. And then you've got this, not a rainbow flag. Everyone thinks it's a rainbow flag. It's the colors of the constellation. So it's the colors of space. So that's what this actually is. It isn't what people thought it was when it first came out. And then we've got the headset. So here we've got the headset that goes with this, which is obviously the official Xbox headset. This is one of my favorite headsets you can buy, whether you get the regular black version or this new special edition one. It's up to you. So this headset obviously has the cool chat mix features, so you can obviously control the volume with this ear cup really quick on the fly, super easy. Or you can adjust the balance of your in-game chat or the actual gameplay. So you see here it's marked up as comms or cockpit, which is obviously the spaceship sound effects within the game. Now, these headphones actually have special sounds when you turn them on. So when you put them on and you actually power them up, they go, which is the sound of the spaceships within Starfield booting up, which the regular headphones don't do. Then you also have a transparent microphone, so this thing lights up. That looks quite cool when the headsets are on. Now, if you want to see me unbox the PS5 SpiderMan 2 console, you can check out this video here. But alternatively, if you want to see me check out some of the rarest and craziest Xbox gaming tech in the world, you should watch this video right here.